Good morning, dear students. A warm welcome to all of you for our today's digital session for the subject Science and Technology Section A. Yesterday, we have started with a new chapter from Section A, chapter number 4, Measurement of Matter. In this chapter, we had studied about the laws of chemical combination. Then we had studied about the atomic size, atomic mass and molecular mass of any compound. Today, as usual, in the beginning, we will start with the revision of the topics which we have covered yesterday, and after that, we will proceed towards our new topics for today, which are calculating the molecular mass of any compound and finding or determining the valency. This valency topic should be registered firmly in your minds because this topic is linked ahead in the 10th standard. In chapter number 2, this topic is covered in the 10th standard. So, grasp it, understand it properly. So, let us begin with our revision part. In the initial stage of the chapter, we had studied about two laws under the title of Laws of Chemical Combination. The first law was Law of Conservation of Matter. Through a small activity, after going through a small activity, we had come to the inference that in a chemical reaction, the total weight of the reactants is same as the total weight of the products which are formed due to the chemical reactions. After a chemical reaction, we had seen that the total amount of the weight of reactants, it was found to be same as the total weight of the products which was formed after the reaction, and this is called the law of conservation of matter, which was put forth by our French scientist Antoine Lavoisier. You can see his photograph in the year 1785. He had inferred this law from his research work. What did his research find out? That there is no rise or drop in the mass of the matter during any chemical reaction. Our next law was put forth by the French scientist again in the year 1794 named J.L. Proust. You can see his photograph over here. His law stated that the proportion by weight of the constituent elements in the various samples of a compound is fixed. Here I had taken up a good example of the Prasad Shira which you prepare during Satyanarayan Puja, or if you go through any recipe, then they always give you a proportion that this much proportion of vegetables have to be taken, to that proportion this much amount of rice has to be taken if you want to prepare biryani or pulao. So that proportion should remain constant to get that constant taste. So similarly here in the case of our chemistry, in the case of elements in any compound, the proportion by weight of the constituent elements in the various samples of any compound is fixed. If you take the compound water, which is formed by hydrogen and oxygen, then the proportion by weight of hydrogen and oxygen in water is 1:8 irrespective of the source. You get the water from the lakes, you get the water in the form of ice, you get the water from any you can say well, unless and until it is pure water, this proportion of hydrogen and oxygen will remain same. If you take the example of carbon dioxide, the proportion by weight of carbon and oxygen will be always 3:8. Our next topic for revision is about the atomic size. Here I had told you that the center of the atom is known as the nucleus, in which protons and neutrons are present. So, to determine the atomic size, you should know the atomic radius. And what is atomic radius? The distance between the center of the cell, that is the nucleus, and the outermost orbit, that is known as the radius. I had told you while drawing any circle, you always take radius into account. And this atomic radius is expressed in nanometers. some of the atomic radius of different atoms were displayed, which we have seen yesterday. Then we had seen how to calculate mass of an atom. As I have told you, mass of any atom, it is concentrated in its nucleus. Why? Because the mass is due to the protons and neutrons which are present in it. Protons are denoted by P, neutrons are denoted by N. So the total number of P plus N, that is protons plus neutrons, is called the atomic mass number, and this protons and neutrons together, they are called as nucleons. Also we had seen that an atom is very tiny. So to determine its mass was really a challenge ahead of the scientists. So they came up with the concept of relative mass of an atom. So here hydrogen atom initially was chosen as the reference atom. Why? Because it was the lightest element. And the relative mass of hydrogen atom, which has only one proton in its nucleus, it was accepted as 1. But later on what it was found, that on this scale the relative masses, atomic masses of many elements, they came out to be fractional, and hence in the year 1961 carbon atom was selected as the reference atom, and in this scale the relative mass of a carbon atom was accepted as 12. The relative atomic mass of hydrogen atom compared to carbon atom becomes 12 multiplied by 1 upon 12, that comes out to be 1. And instead of relative mass, later on unified mass was accepted as the unit of atomic mass, which was called as Dalton, having a symbol like small u, and the value of 1 Dalton is 1.66053904 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 27 kg. So this value you have to remember. After that we had studied about the chemical symbols. I had taken up an example that whenever you get an entry in the class, every time the teacher does not call you by your name, you get a unique roll number which is unique for each student. So similarly in the case of elements, each and every element has got its unique symbol which is accepted by IUPAC, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. It was put forth by the scientist Berzelius. So what is symbol? It is either the first letter in the name of the element or the first and the second or any other specific letter, and when there are two letters, always one is capital and the second one is small. After this topic we had studied about molecular mass. As I have told you, molecule means what? It is nothing but the sum of atoms of that particular element. So molecular mass means nothing but the sum of atomic masses of whatever elements are present in that particular compound. Now, next our topic will be calculation of molecular masses of different compounds. So I will request all of you to sit with a notebook and pencil as I had instructed this to you yesterday also. Now, how to calculate molecular mass? Let us take up an example which is given in the textbook. To calculate the molecular mass of water, first you will always write its molecular formula. For water it is H2O. The elements in the case of water is hydrogen and oxygen. Atomic masses should be known by you. It will be given in the exam. So atomic mass, it is not the atomic number over here. Be careful. Atomic mass for hydrogen is 1. Oxygen it is 16. So you have to calculate the number of, you can say atomic mass multiplied by number of atoms. So hydrogen is 2. So number of atoms in the molecule is how much? Hydrogen 2 and oxygen it is only 1, H2O. So whatever is the value of atomic mass, multiply by 2. So 1 multiply by 2 and oxygen is only 1. So 16 multiply by 1. So 2 multiply by 1 is 2, 16 multiply by 1 is 16. Add up both, 2 plus 16, molecular mass is 18. So when you have to calculate, you have to do each and every sum over here. In the exam, they can ask you calculate the molecular mass of water. Atomic masses will be provided. So first you will write the formula H2O. So molecular mass of H2O will be sum of the constituent atomic masses. So atomic mass of hydrogen multiply by 2 plus atomic mass of oxygen multiply by 1. Substitute the values and you will get the answer. So now on page number 51, so textbook should be ready, notebook should be ready, and a pencil should be ready with you. Page number 51, right on the top, you have that activity, use your brain power, which is not cancelled. Following are the atomic masses of a few elements in Dalton and the molecular formula of some of the compounds. Molecular formula already they have given to us. So deduce means find out the molecular masses of those compounds. Below that you can see the atomic masses which are given. Hydrogen 1, oxygen 16, nitrogen 14, carbon 12, potassium 39, sulfur 32, calcium 40, sodium 23, chlorine 35.5, magnesium 24 and aluminium 27. So atomic masses are ahead of you. You have to calculate the molecular mass. So let us take up our first compound NaCl, which is sodium chloride. Now in the exam, if molecular formula is given to you directly, then it is easy for you to calculate, but not always the formula will be given. If I ask in the exam, find the molecular mass of sodium chloride in word form SODIA, the first thing is you will have to write the molecular formula and then only you have to move ahead. So let us begin with our first example, NaCl. Now molecular mass of NaCl means the two atoms of elements or the two elements which are present here are sodium Na and Cl, that is chlorine. So molecular mass of NaCl is equal to sum of atomic masses of Na and Cl. Now this step everywhere I have shown for you to understand. It is not necessary to write this step. You can directly start from step number 2 for you to understand which constituent elements are there. That is why I have shown this first step everywhere. You can skip this step and start from this step directly. So now sum of the atomic masses of Na and Cl. So atomic mass of Na, how many atoms of Na are there? Only 1. So multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of chlorine, Cl is also 1, so multiply by 1. Now substitute their values. Atomic mass of sodium is how much? 23. So 23 multiplied by 1 is 23 plus chlorine they have given 35.5. So 35.5 multiplied by 1 is 35.5. When you add both, you will get the value 58.5. And you all know that the unit of atomic mass is Dalton. So here also unit will be Dalton. No need of writing when you are calculating or doing the sums over here. I hope you have followed. Very simple. Your only eye should be on how many number of atoms are present. So you have to multiply by that particular number and what is the atomic mass which is given. So if both are correct, then your answer will be surely correct. Our next compound is MgCl2, that is magnesium chloride. So our step begins. Molecular mass of MgCl2 is equal to, now which are the constituent elements? Mg and Cl, but you have to keep an eye, Cl is 2. So sum of atomic masses of Mg and Cl. Now here atomic mass of Mg, it is multiplied by 1, so I have not shown over here. It is up to you to show it multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of chlorine. Now here 2 atoms are there, so compulsory multiply by 2. Substitute the values. Atomic mass of Mg multiply by 1. Magnesium is 24. So 24 multiplied by 1 is 24 plus chlorine is how much? 35.5 multiply by 2. So inside the bracket 35.5 multiply by 2. Calculate 24 plus 35.5 multiplied by 2 is 71. Add both, your answer is 95. So molecular mass of MgCl2 is 95. So on page number 51, if you see, use your brain power question, we are solving that. So molecular formula 10 compounds they have given. All the 10 compounds I have worked out for you. See to it that all these 10 compounds molecular masses should be completed in your notebooks. Our next compound is KNO3, potassium nitrate. So molecular mass of KNO3 is equal to sum of the atomic masses are of, now three elements are there, one is K, one is N and one is O. So sum of atomic masses of K, N and O. Now look at the number of atoms. K is only 1, N is only 1, but oxygen is 3. So atomic mass of K multiply by 1. Always look that it is inside the bracket. Atomic mass that should be inside the bracket, multiply by 1, plus atomic mass of N. N is also 1. So multiply by 1, plus atomic mass of oxygen. Now how many oxygen are there? 3. So multiply by 3. Next is substitution of values. Now your textbooks are ahead of you. So atomic mass of potassium is 39. So 39 multiplied by 1 is 39, plus atomic mass of nitrogen they have given as 1. So 14 multiplied by 1 is 14. Oxygen you all know atomic mass is 16. So 16 multiplied by 3. Substitute the values. 39 plus 14 plus 16 3s are 48. If you add all the 3, you will get the answer as 101. So 101 is your answer. Our next compound is H2O2, that is hydrogen peroxide. Molecular mass of H2O2. Now hydrogen atoms are also 2, oxygen is also 2. So as usual, some of the atomic masses of two elements are there, H and O. As I have told you, this step is not compulsory. Then atomic mass of hydrogen multiply by 2, plus atomic mass of oxygen multiply by 2, because two atoms are there. Substitute the values. Atomic mass chart is ahead of you. Hydrogen atomic mass is 1. So 1 multiply by 2 plus 16 multiply by 2. 2 plus 32 comes out to be 34. So molecular mass of H2O2 is equal to 34. I hope you have followed carefully now. Now any compound asked to you and atomic masses are ahead of you, any sum you will be able to solve. Let us move to the next compound. See, we are not meeting physically in the school. So each and every sum I have solved for you. If we are in the school, then what I do, 1 or 2 compounds I solve, then I call each and every student to do it on the board. So what you also do, 1 or 2 compounds go through, and other compounds you try to get the molecular masses by working out on your own. So you will be very perfect. AlCl3, aluminium chloride, is our next compound. Molecular mass of AlCl3, two elements are there, aluminium and chlorine. So sum of atomic masses of Al and Cl. Atomic masses are known to you. Aluminium is only 1, chlorine is 3. So atomic mass of aluminium multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of chlorine multiply by 3. See that this brackets should be there, values should be proper. Aluminium's atomic mass is 27. So 27 multiplied by 1 is 27, plus chlorine we have seen just now, 35.5 multiplied by 3. So 35.5 multiplied by 3 is 106.5. When you add both, you will get the answer 133.5. Our next compound is CaOH twice, which is calcium hydroxide. So here 3 elements are there. One is calcium, oxygen and hydrogen. So molecular mass of CaOH twice is equal to sum of the atomic masses of CaO and H. Now calcium is 1, OH is together. So let us see how to calculate over here. Atomic mass of calcium multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of oxygen plus atomic mass of hydrogen. I have taken together because both are inside the bracket, and then I have closed the bracket, multiply by 2. Substitute the values. Calcium is 40. So 40 multiplied by 1 is 40, plus atomic mass of oxygen is 16 and hydrogen is 1. So inside the bracket 16 plus 1, close the bracket, multiply by 2. 40 plus 16 plus 1 is 17. 17 multiplied by 2. So 40 plus 34. Answer comes out to be 74. Look carefully at the working which I have done. and when both are in the bracket, then how both the atomic masses I have put inside the bracket. Our next compound is compound number 7, MgO, that is magnesium oxide. So the molecular mass of MgO, very simple, two elements are there, Mg and O. So sum of the atomic masses of Mg and O. Now Mg is also 1, O is also 1. So atomic mass of Mg multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of oxygen multiply by 1. Values are known to you. 24 is the atomic mass of magnesium. So 24 multiply by 1. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So plus 16 multiply by 1. 24 plus 16 comes out to 40. I hope all of you have followed carefully now. Next compound is H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid. Molecular, now I will go fast. Molecular mass of H2SO4 is 3 elements are there, hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. So sum of the atomic masses of H, S and O. Hydrogen is 2, sulfur is 1, oxygen is 4. So atomic mass of hydrogen multiply by 2 plus atomic mass of sulfur multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of oxygen multiply by 4. Substitute the values. Hydrogen's atomic mass is 1. So 1 multiply by 2 plus atomic mass of sulfur is 32. So 32 multiply by 1 and oxygen is 16. So plus 16 multiply by 4. 2 plus 32 plus 64. Answer comes out to be 98. Now the last two compounds from page number 51 are left out. One is HNO3, that is nitric acid, and the other one is NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. Molecular mass of HNO3, the three elements are H, N and O. So sum of the atomic masses of H, N and O. H is 1, N is 1, oxygen is 3. So atomic mass of hydrogen multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of nitrogen multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of oxygen multiply by 3. Substitute the values. 1 multiply by 1 plus nitrogen is 14. So 14 multiply by 1 plus oxygen is 16. 16 multiply by 3. 1 plus 14 plus 48. Answer is 63. And the last compound for use your brain power activity is NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. 3 elements are there, sodium, oxygen, hydrogen. So sum of atomic masses of sodium, oxygen and hydrogen all are 1 in number. So atomic mass of Na multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of O multiply by 1 plus atomic mass of H multiply by 1. Only the thing is you have to get their atomic masses. Sodium is 23. So 23 multiply by 1. Oxygen is 16. So plus 16 multiply by 1. Hydrogen is 1. So plus 1 multiply by 1. 23 plus 16 plus 1 comes out to 40, which is the molecular mass of NaOH. So all the 10 compounds I have done for you in the textual exercise also. If you see properly, in textual exercise our question number 5 is write the names of the following compounds and calculate their molecular masses. So whichever compounds are same, I won't repeat the molecular mass sum over there. Whichever compounds I have not covered in this activity, that compounds only I will discuss. With this, we have completed with the topic of calculation of molecular masses. Now we take up a very small topic. What do we mean by mole? We had seen in the initial topic molecular mass of a compound and the concept of mole. Mole, the word is new for you. So when any elements and compounds take part in chemical reactions, you know what is a chemical reaction. It is nothing but their atoms and molecules that react with each other. We just say that a chemical reaction has occurred means what? The atoms and the molecules, they react with each other, and hence it is very necessary for us to know the numbers of their atoms and molecules. However, while carrying out a chemical reaction, it is very convenient to measure out quantities that can be handled instead of counting the numbers of atoms and molecules. You know how difficult it will become to calculate the numbers of atoms and molecules, and hence here the concept of mole is used. So let us see the scientific definition of mole. A mole is that quantity of a substance whose mass in grams is equal in magnitude to the molecular mass of that substance in daltons. Just now we had seen how the molecular mass of any compound is calculated, and I had told also molecular mass means unit is dalton. So what is mole? Quantity of the substance whose mass in grams that is equal in magnitude to the molecular mass of that particular substance. So let us take up one example of oxygen molecule. You know oxygen means O2. So molecular mass will be how much? 16 is the atomic mass for oxygen. So 16 multiplied by 2 is 32. So molecular mass of oxygen is 32 daltons, and therefore 32 grams of oxygen means 1 mole of oxygen. Very simple. For any compound you should know, for any molecule you should know what is its weight, its molecular mass. Then immediately you can correspond it that much grams is 1 mole of that particular molecule. Let us take one more example of water. Molecular mass of water is 18 daltons. Therefore 18 grams of water will make 1 mole of water. So any compound, if you take carbon dioxide, then whatever is the molecular mass of carbon dioxide, if we have seen NaOH in the previous examples, NaOH we have got as 40. So 40 grams of NaOH means 1 mole of NaOH. So to calculate the number of moles of any substance, the formula which we use is number of moles of a substance, which is denoted by small n, is mass of the substance in grams upon molecular mass of the particular substance. This formula you should know it. And our last topic to wind up our today's session is Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number. What do you mean by this number? Now the number of molecules, we have just now studied about the concept of mole. So the number of molecules in 1 mole of any substance is constant. We have seen for water it will be 18, for NaOH it will be 40. So the Italian scientist Avogadro, he really did a fundamental work in this particular field, and hence this number is called the Avogadro's number. And later on scientists, they worked out and they demonstrated experimentally that the value of Avogadro's number is 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to 23. You have to remember this. It can be asked as a fill-up, true and false, match the columns. So a mole of any substance, it stands for 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to 23 molecules. You know, whenever you speak about a dozen of any quantity, a dozen bananas means how many are there? 12 bananas. When you speak about 1 gross of notebooks, then 1 gross means 144 notebooks, means it is constant. So whenever you speak about 1 mole, here we have taken 1 mole of common salt means how much? 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to 23 molecules. So 1 mole of any substance, it stands for how many number of molecules? 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to 23 molecules. So for example, a mole of water, that is 18 grams of water. We have seen previously that 18 daltons of molecular mass of water, it is nothing but 18 grams, that is 1 mole of water. So it contains 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to 23 molecules of water. I hope you have understood this concept. With this, we wind up with our today's session. In our next session on Thursday, we are going to study a very important concept, valency. I will just suggest you go through the topic, at least read the topic from your textbook. I will explain it a little bit more deeply, whatever is not given in the textbook, but to understand the concept of valency, whatever part is important, I am going to take it very deeply. So at least read through the topic which is given, so you will understand it. And whatever molecular masses of the compounds we have studied today, we have calculated. do it, complete it in your notebooks. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, and thank you from my side.